this week over in Spain, especially for Barcelona. That's right. Not only do they have Champions League matches, but they've got an absolute ding-dong classic against Atletico Madrid, which could go a long way to deciding who will become champions of Spain. We're going to talk about that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video today. It's all about match day number, 28. That's right, over in Spain, and we'll get to it in a second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe button. You want some short for Blackburn Rovers, La Liga, World Football. We're going to all here under one rooski. That's right, Barcelona got it all to do this week in the race for the title. Of course, big games coming at you with Atletico Madrid, the hosts, which what could be a massive game to decide who will become tip at the top of the table. We'll take a look at that and much more in a second. Big shout out to the members, big shout out to the patrons. You know who you are. So what we're going to do now, though, is revisit the last round of games, which were this past weekend. Sit tight, hold on. Here we go. That's right. Here it is. Recapping the results, and they're on the screen right about now. Of course, as you can see it right here, of course, big wins for Celta Vigo. 2-1 winners over Leganes. They got that one spot on the nose. Alaves, they did beat Villarreal. Goodness gracious me. But that, my friends, is all I can tell you, because I am recording this actually on Saturday before the conclusion of these games. But the producer in me, the editor in me, should have updated the graphics to showcase you the results and what went on this past midweek, or this past weekend. So that is that. Meanwhile, this is, of course, what it looks like in the table. Of course, how do you like those apples? And again, should be updated with the respective scorelines and, of course, the new look to La Liga. So that's that. Of course, what I can say is Valladolid are going down no matter what goes on this past weekend. So we know that for a fact. As for the rest, of course, it will be reflected in the table right here, right now. Meanwhile, I also cannot give you an update on the Super Brew. We're going to wait and see about that very soon. Give you an update possibly on the back of the international break. We'll see. But that is that, my friends. And these are the next round of games coming at you this coming weekend. That's right. So please bear with me. Of course, I'm going to come at you with the form as I have it. It's going to be a little bit different as to what it is actually taking place when, of course, the results of this current weekend's matches are gone. So bear with me. We're going to start with a trip to Gran Canaria. Las Palmas taking on Alaves. Of course, Las Palmas not in the best bit of form right now up against Alaves, a side coming into this on the back of the win themselves. They played each other 29 times since 1996. 8 wins Las Palmas, 11 wins for Alaves. There's been 10 draws between the two sides. Alaves do have a 4-0 win on the record compared to Las Palmas with a 6-1 win. Alaves scoring 39 goals compared to the 34 of Las Palmas over the course of the 29 matches. 1.17 goals a game ratio for Las Palmas in this match. 1.34 goals a game for Alaves over Las Palmas. The previous match on this one at this very venue was a 1-1 draw way back in May 2024. The reverse fixture, a 2-0 win for Alaves way back in September. The odds for this one then, it's actually quite even Stevens on the bookies odds on this one, so I'm going to, they suggest sitting on the fence, but I'm going to back Las Palmas to break their duck and get back to winning ways with the 2-0 win over Alaves. Let's go to Valladolid now as they take on Celta Vigo this coming Saturday at the Jose Zorrilla. Valladolid under Alvaro Rubio, struggling right now, 8% form as of recording, up against Celta Vigo under Claudio Giraldez, doing the business. Unbeaten in a good 5 matches there, sitting in and around about 8th spot. 44 times they've played each other since 1994. 8 wins Valladolid, 20 wins for Celta Vigo. There's been 16 draws. Valladolid do have a 4-1 win on the record, scoring 47 goals in those 44 games, picking up a 1.07 goals a game ratio against Celta Vigo, who do have a 3-0 win on the record, scoring 69 goals in those 44 games, 1.57 goals a game ratio. Last time around over at the Jose Zorrilla, it was a 4-1 win for Valladolid back in October 2022. The reverse fixture, a 3-1 win for Celta Vigo when they hosted back in September. The bookies odds as of right now, they go to Celta Vigo on this one. I'm also going to give Celta Vigo the edge here with a 1-1 draw on the road against the Valladolid side, who are struggling for points. Meanwhile, let's go to Mallorca then, up against Espanyol, coming at you at the Mallorca Son Moix Stadium, coming at you on the 15th of March. Mallorca under Jacobo Arrasate, doing all right now, 9th in the table at it there or thereabouts. 36 points for the season up against Espanyol and Manuelo Gonzalez. They have played each other 42 times since 1997. 17 wins Mallorca, 18 wins for Espanyol. There's been 7 draws between the two sides. Mallorca have a 3-0 win on the record, scoring 54 goals in those 42 games, 1.29 goals a game. Espanyol on the flip side, though, coming at you, having played played Mallorca. They picked up a 3-1 win, their biggest, scoring 53 goals in the 42, 1.26 goals a game. Last time around, over at this very venue, it was a 1-1 draw way back in October 2022. The reverse fixture, a 2-1 win for Espanyol back in October. In fact, the home side hasn't lost this game since Espanyol beat Mallorca in Mallorca back in Feb 2021. The bookies odds for this one, Mallorca are fancy for the victory here. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win as well. Back in the bookies on this one with a 2-1 win, taking it to the house. Villarreal taking on Real Madrid. That's coming at you also Saturday, March the 15th. Villarreal and Marcelino. 67% form for them right now. Just one defeat in the last 6 up against Real Madrid and the Carlos Ancelotti, who are there or thereabouts at the tip of the top of the table. They played each other 50 times since 1998. 6 wins Villarreal, 27 wins for Real Madrid. There's been 17 draws. This match will take place at the Estadio de Salamanca. Villarreal, though, picking up a 3-2 win, their biggest over Real Madrid, scoring 55 goals in the 50 games. That's 1.10 goals a game on average. Meanwhile, Real Madrid do have a 5-0 win on the record, scoring 103 goals in the 50 games. That's averaging 2.06 goals a game. Last time around at this very venue, we had an absolute crack. We had a 4-4 Bobby Dazzler back in May 2024. The reverse fixture, though, a 2-0 win for Real Madrid over at Madrid back in October 2024. Madrid are actually unbeaten against Villarreal over the last 3, just lost once in the last 5. The bookies odds for this one, they'll go with Madrid, of course. They have busy week for them as well. Champions League action in a very, very tight match against Atletico, of course. Bookies going with the visitors. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw here. Villarreal need to bounce back and, of course, a bit of an upset in the race for the title. Girona taking on Valencia, coming at you over at the Estadio Monteverde. Girona under Michel, not doing the best of form at the moment, in around about mid-table right now. Up against Valencia under Carlos Coberhand, who have picked up a couple of results, just one defeat in the last 4, maybe more, depending on what goes on this past weekend. They played each other 9 times since 2018. 4 wins Girona, 5 wins Valencia. There's been no draws. Girona do have a 3-1 win, scoring 10 goals in those 9 games, 1.11 goals a game on average. Valencia, though, do have a 2-0 win, their highest, scoring 11 goals in those 9 games, 1.22 goals a game. Last time around, over at the Estadio Monteverde, it was a 2-1 win for Girona back in December 2023. The reverse fixture, a 2-0 win for Valencia at the Mestalla back in September. The bookies odds on this one, what do we have on this one? The bookies will go with Girona on this one, but I'm backing Coberhand here. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win on the road. Valencia getting themselves in a good bit of form right now to get out of the relegation zone. Leganes, they're going to be taking on Real Betis, of course, coming on Sunday, the 16th of March at the Estadio Municipal de Baratec. Leganes and Borja Jimenez coming at you with just 1 win in around about the last 6 matches. 60 for the table, 27 points for the campaign up against Real Betis and Manuel Pellegrini. Busy week for them with European action. They played Leganes 13 times since the year 2000. There's been 6 wins for Betis, 5 wins for Leganes. There's been 2 draws between the 2 sides. We'll get to the last team in a minute. Of course, Leganes have a 4-0 win on the record, scoring 19 goals in those 13 games, picking up a 1.46 goals a game on average. They like playing Real Betis, but the visitors have won 1 more game than the hosts here, picking up 6 wins over their 5. Scoring a 2-0 win was their biggest. 16 goals scored, though, in those 13 matches, 1.23 goals a game. Last time around at Leganes, it was a 0-0 draw way back in February 2020. The reverse fixture, a 2-0 win for Real Betis back in September. The odds for this one then, what are we looking at? We are looking at Leganes are massively out fancied. Real Betis should take it with this one. I'm going with a 2-1 win. The visitors with a busy week coming at you on Sunday. Sevilla up against Athletic Bilbao coming at you at the Ramon Sajuen Piguan. Sevilla under Garcia Pimenta right now. The draw kings picking up 4 draws in at least the last 6 matches. Bilbao though under Ernesto Valverde on the back of a couple of bad results right now. 50% form for them as they try to get themselves back in that top 4 reckoning. 64 times they've played since 1993. 29 wins for Sevilla, 20 wins for Bilbao. There's been 15 draws. Sevilla have a 4-0 win on the record, scoring 93 goals in those 64 games, picking up a 1.45 goals a game on average. Bilbao, though, only have a 3-0 win, scoring 75 goals in those 64 games. That's a 1.17 goals a game on average. Last time around over at this Ramon Sajuen Piguan, it was a 2-0 win for Bilbao back in January 2024. The reverse fixture at the San Mams, it was a 1-1 draw way back in September. Of course, the bookies odds on this one, they'll probably back Sevilla. No, they won't. They're going to go with Bilbao. Of course, they are the top favourites on this one, but a busy week for them in European football. Going to go with a 2-1 win, though. Sevilla taking a bit of an upset on this one. Let's go to Osasuna now as they take on Getafe, coming at you over at the Estadio El Sadar. Osasuna under Vicente Moreno. Draw kings, picking up 3 draws in the last 4 or 5 games up against Getafe. Pepe Bordalas, 42% form for them right now. However, only won twice in the last 5 games or so. Getafe sitting all the way down into 30 points right now, 14th at the table. They played Osasuna 39 times since 1999. 9 wins, Osasuna 16 wins. Getafe, there's been 14 draws. Osasuna have a 5-2 win on the record, scoring 31 goals in those 39 games. That's 0.79 goals a game on average. Getafe, they're picking up a 4-0 win on their record, 45 goals scored in those 39 matches, 1.15 goals a game. Last time around, over at this very venue, the El Stadio, El Sadar, it was a 3-2 win Osasuna back in January 2024. The reverse fixture at Getafe was a 1-1 draw way back in October. The odds right here, right now, Osasuna are fancied for the victory here by the bookies. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win as well, following in their footsteps, and another 3 points for Osasuna. Vallecano taking on Sociedad, my boys, coming at you over at the Estadio de Falacas. Vallecano under Iguano Perez with a bit of better form right now, 58% form for them over the last 6 matches. Up against Real Sociedad under Emmanuel Yglesias, also on pretty woeful form, 42% form heading into this one over the last 6. They played 10 times, they played 42 times since 1993. 14 wins Vallecano, 16 wins for Sociedad. There's been 12 draws between the two sides. Vallecano have a 4-0 win on their record, 58 goals scored in the 42 games, 1.38 goals a game. Sociedad on the flip side with a 5-0 win on their record, scoring 65 goals in 42 matches, 1.55 goals a game on average. Last time around over at this stadium, Estadio de Vallecas, it was a 2-2 draw way back in October 2023. The reverse fixture, a 2-1 win for Vallecano on the opening day of the season back in August. Meanwhile, they also played in the Copa del Rey round of 16. Sociedad coming out on top with a 3-1 win. Vallecano have only won once out of the last 6 and was that 2-1 win on the opening day of the season. Of course, busy week as well for Sociedad in the old Europa League. The bookies odds on this one, though, quite tight. Vallecano get the edge on this one. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw, point apiece, right down the middle. And then, like I said at the top of the hour, the Riyadh Metropolitano. Atletico under Diego Simeone, 58% form for them right now, drawing 3 of the last 6. Against Barcelona, who are hot to trot right now, 92% form for them. They have played Atletico 73 times since 1993. 19 wins for Madrid, 36 wins for Barcelona, and 18 draws. Last time around, of course, over at Madrid, it was a 3-0 win for Barcelona way back in March 2024. They played each other twice already this season, both of those in Barcelona, and Barcelona coming out of this with yet to get a victory over Atletico in the 2 times so far. 2-1 win as it was over at the at Barcelona back in December in the league. It was a 4-4 thriller in the Copa del Rey semi-final back in February. Both those games in Barcelona. Of course, the odds for this one, what are the odds for this one? This is a bit of a ding-dong classic, this one. Of course, the bookies will go Barcelona on this one. Not me, though. Got to back Atletico on this with a 1-0 win. Busy week for them as well, taking Real Madrid in the Champions League. So it could be a defining season for not only the league, but of course Champions League and the Spanish teams that are involved. That's my take on it, guys. And if I'm right, the table will look something along the lines like this. Make sure you hit the like and, of course, that business. And, of course, don't forget to get your predictions in as well. That's my leaks, predicts, and all that kind of jazz. We'll see you soon on the other side. Until then, subscribe, smash a like. Catch you later. We're done.